since these indictments came down on Trump, the New York indictment, the 2 indictments by the special counsel, there is a kind of explosion of glee on the part of the left in the media and on social media. Trump is going to prison. And historian Michael Beschloss recently alluded to this. Mark Elias, the Democratic attorney, has done this as well. Many others, Joe Scarborough, those kinds of people. Trump is going to face the music. He's going to be locked up. Yeah, we'll see how he likes it when he's in a cell. You MAGA people are going to have to get used to your man being behind bars. So there's a sort of almost elation over the prospect of Trump being incarcerated. And in fairness, it should be said that it is going to be hard for me to see how Trump could be exonerated on all these charges. So it's almost like the left here is using a shotgun approach. If you go with one charge, maybe pick your most serious charge, then you could say, well, Trump could defeat it. But when you go with multiple counts, and then you put them before a jury, and not one jury, many juries in Florida, juries in Washington, D.C., juries in New York. Now, look, the ultimate adjudication is probably going to come from the Supreme Court. So it's not like what a jury even says is going to be the final word. But it could be that left-wing judges and left-wing juries, and certainly in this latest case, the case involving January 6th, election fraud, Trump knew he was lying. You're going to have a left-wing judge, Tanya Chutkan, and you're going to have most likely a jury heavily biased to the left. So that's very bad news for Trump. In fact, Julie Kelly tweeted, quote, "Trump is doomed." And I think what she means is he's doomed in expecting to get a fair trial. And so all of this might suggest that if the Supreme Court doesn't intervene and intervene in all the cases, or intervene in any case where Trump gets any kind of conviction whatsoever, because the charges are serious enough that they would almost inevitably come with jail time. But here's a question raised by the Washington Post, and I didn't even really think about it, and interesting the Washington Post raises it. Is it possible for Trump even to go to jail? Now you would go, well, why not? We keep hearing on social media, no one is above the law. But the Post makes an interesting point. There is a federal law that has been around, I think since 1965, that gives presidents and ex-presidents full Secret Service protection. And that means that they are put in a position where they cannot be in danger. This is a law that allows the president to keep Secret Service protection for life. Now, there is one president, Richard Nixon, who declined it. He said he would provide his own protection. But by and large, a president who wants it gets it. And so the point is, how does somebody get prison time and at the same time be protected by the Secret Service? Does the Secret Service sort of like move into the prison? Do they start operating out of the prison? Is Trump in a special prison, which is cordoned off by Secret Service? Well, the Washington Post interviews a bunch of people who have knowledge of this sort of thing. And by and large, what I get out of it is, what they're saying is, Trump really can't go to prison, not in the normal way. So here is a guy named Rosenberg, Chuck Rosenberg. He's a former top federal prosecutor, counsel to FBI Director James Comey. Quote, "Any federal district judge ought to understand it raises enormous and unprecedented logistical issues. Probation, fines, community service, and home confinement are all alternatives." So kind of what this guy is saying, as I take it, is that prison in the normal sense is not going to work. There is, in fact, no way to create a Secret Service cordon around Trump inside of an existing prison facility. And so he goes probation, fines, community service, of course, home confinement. Trump would be at Mar-a-Lago, so not exactly prison. I've been there. Debbie's been there. We wouldn't mind moving in there. So it is so now there are other guys who are interviewed who offer a different perspective. Here's a guy named Jonathan Wackrow, former Secret Service agent, now running a risk advisory company. And he goes, "Unless there are changes in legislation or the former president waives protection, the U.S. Secret Service would likely maintain a protective environment around the president in accordance with current practices. And then, of course, the Post interviews the Secret Service, and they basically go, yeah, we're just going to do our job. We are required by law to provide this kind of protection for the president, and we're going to keep doing it. So, in other words, any judge that is presiding over a verdict that gives Trump prison time is going to have to deal with this issue. Now, there's some suggestions that they could figure out a way, make some sort of accommodation, but no accommodation is described in the Washington Post article that would make any kind of logistical sense. And so this becomes a very interesting point. The left is excited about Trump being, quote, a normal criminal. They recently quoted the sheriff in Georgia, in Fulton County. He's like, yeah, if there's an indictment coming down against Trump, we're going to take a mugshot like everybody else. He's not going to get any kind of special treatment. So they want Trump to be an ordinary criminal. And yet, given the law that provides Secret Service protection to former presidents, it's really hard to see how he could be. Debbie and I are on a great health journey, but we still struggle to eat enough fruits, veggies, and fiber. Lucky for us, we discovered Balance of Nature. And what better way to get all your fruits and veggies plus fiber than with Balance of Nature? This is Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies made from fresh whole produce. The produce is powdered after an advanced vacuum cold process, which stabilizes the maximum nutrient content. And this is Balance of Nature's fiber and spice. It's a proprietary blend of fiber and 12 spices for overall and digestive health. So like Debbie and I have, start your journey to better health right now. Call 1-800-246-8751 or go to balanceofnature.com to get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America. Again, that's balanceofnature.com or call 1-800-246-8751 and get 35% off your first preferred order by using discount code America.